You know, viewers, sometimes you just have to stare at the fire and ask yourself what it all means. Why are we here? Why are we fighting the Darkspawn? What are we doing in this camp? Oh, so many deep questions. Fires make me think of deep questions. Okay, welcome back, viewers. Episode 85, Let's Play Dragon Age Origins. When we last left off, we'd gotten out of Redcliffe and we're back at camp, talking with our group members here. Had some chats with Alistair, Dr. Barkers, and large chat with Zephyron last episode. So this episode, we're going to continue that. Let's talk to Wynne. I haven't talked to her since we got her, so let's go ahead and have that chat.
Oh, it's been a long day. Rest would be welcome.
You're such an old woman. Starting to slow down a little, are we?
I'm just feeling a little weary is all. As you may have noticed, I'm no spring chicken.
Yeah, but there's still some life in those old bones, I bet.
Thank you. You're very kind to say so. But in all honesty, I do not know how many years I have left in me. I have lived for such a long
Come
time,
on, don't talk
but
like that.
there's always something else to do. And I have to keep going in order to do it. I think I will be glad when I am done.
Hey, don't say things like that. We still need you.
Oh, no. I'm not the sort of person that leaves things unfinished. I'll see this through, I promise.
Good. Alright, let's talk some more.
Have you encountered many abominations, apart from the ones in the Circle Tower?
Well, there was Connor.
Ah, yes, Connor, of course. The first time I saw an abomination, my blood turned to ice. It was months before the nightmares stopped. It was the knowledge that I could easily become one of them that frightened me the most.
You're a great mage. You'd never become an abomination.
Every mage is vulnerable, no matter how accomplished or powerful. That is the first thing we learn, and overconfidence can lead to recklessness. One slip. All it takes is one slip, and everything you are is simply gone. Replaced by madness.
Dark
and there
stuff.
is no turning back, or at least that's what they say.
Do you have doubts?
Of late, I have begun to wonder if there is any way an abomination can be cured. Or if a mage could be so possessed and still retain their sanity, their humanity.
Well, if one retains one's humanity, then they're not an abomination.
Yes, it is madness and cruelty that define abominations. If those are lacking, if the mage remembers the person they truly are, then they are not an abomination. I never saw that. Thank you for showing me another way of looking at it.
Well, you're welcome. I am pretty intelligent. All right, more conversation.
So, tell me, how did you become a Grey Warden?
Well, it's better than being a castless tunnel rat in Orzammar, I can tell you that much.
I have learned a little of the strict caste system of the dwarves, and I apologize for saying this, but it seems terribly backward.
Really,
Regardless
really?
of what happened in your past,
Probably thought a lot
I am
to get
glad
to
you
that
found a
conclusion.
place with the wardens, as I'm sure you are too.
Let's see. You know, Orzammar was too small for me, and I'm bound for greater things.
Sometimes it gives me comfort to think that everything will end up the way it's supposed to. That it will be all right. You were chosen. You survived the joining when others did not. Perhaps it was meant to be.
Yeah. Alright. More talky dog.
I must ask, what does being a Grey Warden mean to you?
I don't know. Does it have to mean something?
I just wanted to know what you thought being a Grey Warden was about. Ultimately, being a Grey Warden is about serving others. about serving all people, whether elves or dwarves or men.
But the Grey Warden's bow to no one.
As a Grey Warden, you are a guardian of men, and you guard them because their continued existence is more important than you are. Thus it is you who serves, not they.
I suppose that makes sense.
A good king, a true king who cares for his land, uses his power to rule firmly but fairly. He serves his people first and foremost. The king who does not do this, who believes that he is entitled to his power, who abuses it and uses it for his own means, is a tyrant.
Many kings are tyrants.
And the country suffers for it. If you live apart from others, and your actions affect only you, then you may do as you wish. But if you have power, influence, and strength, your every action will be as a drop of water in a clear, still pond. The drop causes ripples, and ripples spread. Think of how far they will go, how wide they will become, how will they affect the pond. But I've lectured enough for today. I should stop before I wear out my welcome.
Wynne brings up some good points for JT. JT has always been one that's pretty much only caring about the individual, but being a Grey Warden does mean more than that. It means being a protector. JT will have to think about this one. But let's have a little more chat first.
Is there something you need?
Now we get to the actual conversation. Alright. I'd like to ask you something about the circle.
I will answer to the best of my ability.
Why didn't you want to stay at the tower?
The circle is in good hands. Irving knows what to do, and he doesn't need me underfoot. For now, I will support those that battle the Darkspawn. I do feel I left things unfinished in Ostagar. There is so much left to do, and I would be part of it.
Well, I'm glad for your company.
The Grey Wardens,
Particularly your healing
all
abilities.
2 of you, need all the help you can get. I will see
Well,
this
let's be
through to the
honest,
bitter
Alistair
end,
really doesn't count
and
as a
after
person.
that, if I am still left standing, then I will return to the circle.
Alright, I just want to make sure you really wanted this.
No, of course I don't. I'm old and unsure of what I'm doing. Actually, I'd rather be in a warm chair in the sun, being served pudding or some other easily digestible food.
Oh, when did Alistair get here? Jeez. Just asking a question. No need to be snide.
I'm sorry. People often jest about my age, and I've learned to just play along. You need a sense of humor when you're as old as I am.
I suppose.
But to allay your fears, yes, I am sure this is what I want.
Okay.
Is there something you need?
Yep, more about the...
It is no trouble.
Oh, jeez. Oh, no.
Is there something you need?
I'd like to ask you something about the circle.
I will answer to the best of my ability.
Alright, so how'd you become a mage?
People don't become mages. They are born mages. The talent just surfaces later. But you are asking how I ended up at the circle. I was brought there by the Templars, just like many of the other apprentices. I don't remember very much. I was very young then.
Well, how did they know you were a mage?
I set a boy on fire.
I bet he deserved it, too.
Oh, yes, he did. He was the eldest son of the woman who took me in. I don't think he ever liked me. I didn't have a family. I never knew my real parents. My earliest memory was of hiding in a hayloft on a farm, trying to keep warm. I was found, and the farmer's wife was kind enough not to send me away. But they had children of their own, and I was never made to feel welcome. The eldest son was the worst. He was always calling me a stray, and throwing anything he could get his hands on at me. And I don't know how it happened, but one day, he just found his hair on fire. Fortunately, there was a large trough nearby.
He was lucky. I would have done much worse to him.
And you would have seen yourself trussed up like a festival turkey and paraded about the square for it. Village folk have little love for witches like us.
I'm not really a
Thankfully,
witch.
all I had to endure was a few nights locked in a cold barn with a bowl of water and a crust of bread. The Templars arrived several mornings later.
Were the Templars mean to you?
One of them ignored me, but the other was kind to me. He gave me sweets and even sat me on his shoulders once when I wanted to look over a high wall that ran along the road. I'll never forget the moment the Templars led me into the entrance hall of the tower. I had never seen anything so grand in my life. I stopped being afraid then. I knew I was home.
Aww. That's a great story.
Well, that's about all there is to my tale. That's how I came to the circle.
So what was life like in the tower?
I would be lying if I said it was easy. First, there were rules, and we were constantly watched to make sure we behaved appropriately. Then there was the study of magic. We had to cast the spells just so, control the effects completely. A single word spoken incorrectly, a gesture out of sync, and lack of focus. And we needed to have perfect focus, or we would be in danger.
Well, at least you learned the dangers of magic from the circle.
Without the circle and my mentors, I would not have been where I am today. And there was joy in life at the circle. The joys of fellowship, in knowing that you were not alone in your struggles. In spite of everything, I was happy in the tower, and I loved it.
Alright, well that's all, Wynne. We get little by little approval with you. You guys doing okay? This here's our emissary, guys. Just here to make sure that everything's going alright with our groups there, but we can talk to them more later. Lelliana, what is
The
up,
stars
girl?
are out.
There still is beauty to be found in this world. I really want to say 4. No, but we're being nice. We're being nice. Okay.
It comforts me to know that the stars will remain untouched by the blight. That whatever happens down here, they will shine eternally, their light undimmed. There is a story about that cluster of stars over there. Do you know it? Elindra and her soldier?
Yeah, I can't say I've heard it.
A long time ago, there lived a fair maiden called Elindra. She had many suitors, but spurned them all, for she did not love them. One day, Elindra was sitting by her window in her father's castle, singing and dreaming, when her lovely voice caught the attention of a young soldier.
Oh, yeah.
Entranced by her song, the soldier drew near to Elindra's window. As their eyes met, he fell in love with her, and she with him. When Elindra told her father about the man she had chosen, he was furious, for Elindra was high-born, but her love nothing more than a common soldier. To keep them apart, he had Elindra imprisoned in the highest tower of his castle, and sent her soldier to the wars. Alas, not a month had passed before news of the soldier's death reached Elindra. Alone in her tower, Elindra wept for her love, and beseeched the gods to deliver her from this cruel world. So earnest was her plea that the gods themselves were moved. They gathered Elindra into their arms and lifted her high into the heavens, where she became a star. The gods also raised up the soul of Elindra's soldier love, and there he dwells, across the horizon from her. The band of stars between them is a river of Elindra's tears, cried for her lost love. They say that when Elindra has cried enough, she will be able to cross the river to be reunited with her soldier.
Aww. That's a beautiful story.
This story is one of my favorites, a tale of a love so great and so enduring that it defies death and moves the gods to action. Sometimes I ask myself, does such a love exist? Can it exist?
If we lose hope in love, then we are truly lost.
I never expected you to say that. It is a pleasant surprise.
I'm secretly a terrible romantic.
I have to say there is a certain severity to you. Finding a person behind that all is nice. Maybe you should let your softer side show more often. Sometimes following your heart, not your head, leads you to remarkable places.
Oh God. Okay, alright.
Looking
Keep
for
at
little
it.
old me?
Yep. Alright, I want to ask you something.
Yes? What's on your mind?
Alright, so I heard that in Orlais, minstrels are often spies.
Where did you hear this?
I read it in a history book.
And did you not think that this could be historical fact and no longer true?
I don't see what's so funny about
Not
this
all
situation.
minstrels are spies. Most are just singers and storytellers, but some of them are what we call bards.
And the bards are spies?
Bards are minstrels and more. Spies, as you say. Some say there is a bard order, but I don't think this is true. Many bards work alone or in small groups, doing the bidding of a patron who pays for their services. If there is an organization behind it all, no one knows who they are.
Doesn't the monarchy govern them?
The Empress must have her own bards at her disposal, I suppose, but many are more self-serving. In Orlais, there is much rivalry amongst the highborn. They fight over land, influence, and the favor of the Empress. But they cannot do this openly because it is impolite, and in public, they wear smiling faces and pretend to be civil. In secret, they plot and scheme to destroy each other. It is a game completely meaningless to anyone but its players.
And you were a bard, weren't you?
I have revealed too much, it seems, but it doesn't matter what I used to be. It is the past.
I'd never leave that. Sounds too exciting.
The excitement of the life wears off very quickly, I'm afraid. I found myself in Ferelden and sheltered from bad weather in the Chantry, and when the storm passed, I just did not want to leave. I like to say the Maker brought me here.
Okay. Little
Looking
bit more.
for little old me?
Yes. I want to talk to you about
Yes?
something more.
What's on your mind?
Let's hear another story.
Of course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think.
Now wait, we've heard all your stories. Well, that's 5. There's
Which
another
one?
story. Yeah, okay. Do you know anything about the Dalish?
I have heard a little about how the elves gained their freedom from the Tevinter Imperium. When Andraste began her exalted march against the Imperium, the elves joined her cause to fight their masters. The great elven leader, Shatan, born in captivity, rose up to lead his people. He foresaw a future where the elves were free. Shatan was killed when Andraste was betrayed, but the elves continued to fight, eventually breaking free of the Imperium. The elves claimed the Dales in the south and settled there in a land of their own.
But it didn't last.
The elves lived in the Dales for centuries. They resurrected the worship of the elven gods and would allow the building of no chantry. This angered the chantry, and the hostility between the two factions finally broke out in open war. The chantry says the elves struck first, but I do not know whether to believe it. The chantry declared a wholly exalted march against the elves, named for Andraste's similar march against Tevinter. During the exalted march of the Dales, the elven cities were sacked, and the elven state completely dissolved. Some of the elves bitterly accepted their fates and surrendered to human rule, living in the human cities as second-class citizens. But others, still fiercely proud of their heritage, refused to bow to the humans, and instead became homeless wanderers. They were the elves of the Dales, the Dalish.
Okay, cool. Alright, that's enough of stories. Alright, viewers. Well, we are just about... we finished with Lelliana and Wynne now. We still got Sten and and Morgan, and maybe Shale as well, to talk to. But we will have to do all of that in the next episode. Thank you for joining us, viewers. This has been Let's Play Dragon Age Origins, episode 85, and I will see you next time.